Welcome back to today's second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Today it's Thursday, July 30th, and we have a bunch of stuff to cover. Specifically, I want to address the reason why there may not be a second stimulus check and possibly no stimulus package whatsoever. That's the first thing I'm going to address, and you will want to stick around for that because I guarantee you the reason why is shocking. It is shocking. Now, the second thing I want to show you and explain to you is how essential workers could possibly get $3,000. So again, if you're an essential worker, you will not want to miss that. That will be in the second part of today's video. The last thing I want to discuss is how you can make money creating free images. If you are good with a computer or you're good with your phone, I'm going to show you a step-by-step method how you can make money with free images. So again, you're not going to want to miss that either. So if you're ready, let's begin the video. The hard truth, the truth of the matter is the second stimulus check is currently in limbo. And the reason why is completely shocking. You will be shocked, so make sure you watch this entire video so you don't miss the reason why. Now, what is really holding up your $1,200 stimulus check? That's what a lot of people keep asking. Just in the video I did yesterday morning, I released a video. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. I'll link to it. It'll be the first link down in the description box below. But in that video, I discuss, the second stimulus check, unemployment, all these other things. And the number one question I get is, when's my second stimulus check coming? And it's hard to address because there are holdups. And I'll explain what those are. So first off, we know we are going to get most likely about a 99% chance the second stimulus check is going to be $1,200. It's going to be a one-time payment. It's going to go to all adults, and any dependent, no matter your age, will get $500. That's what we know currently. Now, if this stimulus package passes and the second stimulus check, that additional $1,200 payment, the direct payments to the American people, is in there, that's great. That works. That's good. That's going to help out millions of Americans. However, if the stimulus package doesn't pass, it does the American people, myself, and you absolutely no good. So that right there is hard to swallow. However, with the second stimulus check, being said, talking about that, that is not the only piece of legislation that is in limbo. There's many other pieces of this stimulus package that are in limbo as well. So let me explain what else is in limbo right now, and then I'll tell you why this is and what we need to watch for. All right? So here's what is in limbo currently. We already know the $1,200 stimulus check. That second stimulus check that President Trump promised would be larger, would be more generous. Well, it's only $1,200. It's the exact same. So currently the stimulus check is in limbo. Unemployment extension is in limbo. That additional $600 boost, that's in limbo. Additional thing, the eviction ban extension is in limbo. The eviction moratorium ended last week, and we still have not heard anything about an extension for the eviction moratorium. That's crucial. We want to know more about that. That cannot be in limbo. Also, school funding. The reason why school funding is in limbo is not because the Democrats and the Republicans are fighting on this issue. They aren't. They are in agreement here. However, it's in limbo simply because they are fighting over other things. I'm going to get to that in a second and explain the shocking reason why. And lastly, liability protections. Both the Democrats and the Republicans agree we need liability protections. They just don't agree on who should receive the protection. So, here's the reason why everything is in limbo. We currently have 4 main groups trying to push their own agendas. And when more than one person is trying to push their own agenda, it makes it very difficult and almost impossible to make everybody happy. Okay? So let me explain who these 4 groups actually are. The 4 groups, we have the Democrats, we have the Republicans, we have Mitch McConnell, and we have the White House, and specifically Donald Trump, the president. Now, here's what you need to understand. The Democrats want liability protection to the workers. They also want $1,200 stimulus checks to everybody, but they are content with $1,200 stimulus checks to adults and $500 stimulus checks to all dependents no matter the age. They're content there. That's fine. They also want the unemployment extension of $600 per week. They are not hard set on that $600 number, but they are not happy with the $200 per week proposal that Mitch McConnell and the Republicans gave them. So, those are the three things that the Democrats really want. The Republicans, here's the issue. Half the Republicans want liability protection to the businesses. The other half want no stimulus package at all. They do not want to provide any more stimulus to the American people. They don't want the national debt to go up. Okay, I get it. The third group, Mitch McConnell, he wants liability protections to the businesses. That's all he cares about. That's the only one thing he really wants. He doesn't care about anything else. And then we got the White House. Donald Trump specifically wants stimulus checks. And it has been proven, it's a known fact, okay? Many people have done the predictions, ran the numbers, and it is shown that Donald Trump is more likely to win this next election if, and only if, there is a second stimulus check somewhat closer to the election date. So as long as a stimulus check comes out closer to November, Donald Trump has a better shot of winning. He also wants the $1.75 billion for renovating the FBI headquarters on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., which is about, a few hundred yards away from his Trump International Hotel. So those are the four groups of people. Now, here's the biggest problem. The problem is there are too many people fighting over the exact same pie. And if the pie is not big enough, then nobody will be happy with the slice they get. Okay? Now, that's my little analogy. Hopefully you got it. Pretty simple. But here's what you need to understand. Okay? The Democrats, they want liability protection for the workers. Mitch McConnell wants liability protections for the businesses. They're going to butt heads there. Some of the Republicans, half of them don't want a stimulus package at all. The other half want liability protection, which is exactly what Mitch McConnell wants. Mitch McConnell is the Senate Majority Leader. Okay? He's a Republican. He wants liability protection for the businesses. Exactly what the other half of the Republicans want. And then he's fighting within his party. Here's the reason why it makes it so difficult. If one person is negotiating a deal, it makes it very easy because that one person gets what they want. When two people are negotiating a deal, they usually can compromise somewhere in the middle. However, when three people are making a deal, it makes it very difficult because those three people all have their own agendas, all want certain things, makes it very hard to gel and mesh. When four people, four different entities have their own agendas, okay, it makes it almost impossible to come up with an agreement that works, makes everybody happy. And I say this because Democrats want to still spend $3 trillion. Republicans only want to spend $1 trillion, and that's only half the Republicans. The other half want it at zero. So you got some people that say zero, no stimulus package at all. You got others that say $1 trillion. You got Donald Trump who says $2 trillion. And you got the Democrats who are on the same page. They want $3 trillion. So when you got one party that's on the same page, fighting for what they believe is right for the American people, great. But when you got another party that's fighting amongst themselves, that makes everything impossible. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, as of right now, July 30th, it is a little past 4 a.m. It's a little past 4 a.m. right now as I'm creating this video. If you can't tell, that's a little bit why my voice is kind of hoarse. It's still early. I'm still waking up. Now, as of right now, negotiations between Nancy Pelosi, Charles Schumer, Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin have gone horribly wrong. Nothing good is coming from these negotiations. Nancy Pelosi, Charles Schumer, they're obviously fighting for the Democrats. Mark Meadows, he's kind of the middleman along with Steve Mnuchin. They're fighting for the Republicans. But Steve Mnuchin is pretty much the middleman, the bridge, and he's taking all this information to Mitch McConnell. Here's what's really shocking. Mitch McConnell is the leader of the Senate, the Republican-run Senate. Okay? He is the leader, but he will not be in a room with Nancy Pelosi and Charles Schumer to hammer out and negotiate this deal. He is back in his office, and he's sending Steve Mnuchin to do all the negotiations for him. Let me give you a little story. When I was trying to negotiate a deal about 5 to 6 months ago, okay, before the whole virus thing, this whole pandemic started, okay, 5 to 6 months ago, I tried to get my assistant to hammer out this deal, to try to get a little bit more information, try to bring down the price, do all this stuff, right? And she was on doing email, phone calls, all this stuff, probably for about 3 to 4 weeks. And she didn't get anywhere. So I finally decided I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to make a call to this other business owner, and I'm going to figure out what his deal is. When can we really make a deal? And within 5 minutes, okay, I swear to you, 5 minutes, maybe 10 at the max, I got a deal done. It is because it takes the two main people, the two main parties, to get together and hammer out a deal. If that never happens, those two parties never come together, the deal is almost impossible to pass. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, if anything, if negotiations have, or right now as negotiations have started, they've been 3 days negotiating this different, this little deal, the HEALS Act. Here's the problem. As of right now, the negotiations have actually taken the entire process backwards. Okay? It has gone worse. We aren't any closer to a deal. We're further apart than we were to begin with. And that's one of the bad things. Just yesterday, Donald Trump and Steve Mnuchin proposed a short-term deal that would include eviction extension and federal unemployment benefits. This was their idea, their proposal. Let's only pass a couple things, or maybe 2 or 3 different pieces of legislation. We'll save the rest for a later date. Now, Nancy Pelosi and Charles Schumer said they will not do that. They want the whole bill or nothing at all. And specifically, they want the whole bill. Okay? It makes it very difficult to negotiate anything if you get bits and pieces of information. Okay? I know that as a business owner. You probably know that as a human being. Right? You have to have all the information, or else it makes it impossible to make a deal. And that's essentially what the Republicans and the White House are trying to do. Give the Democrats, parts of information, little pieces here and there, little bits, and say, make a deal. And it's almost impossible to do. Also, Mark Meadows stated yesterday, we are nowhere close to a deal. Steve Mnuchin said the exact same thing. So this just tells me that Steve Mnuchin, who originally stated he is pushing for a deal between Congress by July 31st. Well, that's tomorrow. This is not going to happen. And also, let me just, I know it's bad news, but as of tomorrow, there's only 7 days left. 7 calendar days left to hammer out a deal and get something passed before the Senate goes on recess for the next 31 days and doesn't come back until like the second week of September, which is horrible. Most American people will not be able to survive off another month being locked down with no income, no eviction moratorium, no unemployment boost. It's going to be rough at the least. So all those facts right there is the real reason why there is nothing getting done today. This deal is on the verge of not happening. Again, we are only 8 days away from this deal not passing, nothing going through, and we go through an entire month with no additional stimulus, which I know a lot of people will not make it through. Now, let me give you some good news. If you are an essential worker, the good thing is, the bad thing is the likelihood of any type of hazard pay from the federal government is not going to happen. It's slim to none, almost 0%. However, like I stated last week and even the week before, more states, counties, and cities are starting to implement their own form of hazard pay for essential workers. Just yesterday, LA County, they secured $15 million in child care vouchers for essential workers. As of right now, I don't know what the requirements are, if there's an income limitation depending on where you work. We don't know that yet. Okay, this hasn't opened up yet. However, they have secured $15 million for essential workers through child care vouchers, which means every family, up to 5,000 families, could receive 3 months worth of child care. 3 months of child care, which is equivalent to about $3,000. It's really about $3,300. That's the average in LA County for child care for 1 month. It's about $1,100 per month. So the nice thing about this is, if you live in LA County, they've already secured this funding. You just have to go and apply. It will be first come, first serve, and only go to those, my guess is, that are probably hit the hardest, or those that their parents or you have been working through certain different industries. Maybe you're a paramedic, police officer, firefighter, EMT, doctor, something like that. Okay, so I don't know the requirements yet. However, this is pretty much secured. This is ready to go. They still are rolling out more information, so I'll get you more information as it comes out. But here's the reason why I really wanted to bring this up, because I've stated this for weeks now, is as more states, more counties, more cities, and more businesses themselves start to provide for their workers, start to give some form of hazard pay, pandemic pay, right? Essential worker pay. When this happens, and it happens in multiple cities, multiple locations, okay, multiple counties, once this happens, more and more states, more and more counties, and more cities are going to start to take some of their funding from the CARES Act and start to spread it around to those that really need it. And I think essential workers not only need it, but deserve it. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you in the form of stimulus updates. Hopefully you enjoyed the second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. If there's more information today, I promise I will do one other video later on today. If not, I will do a stimulus check update video tomorrow as well. However, I just want to say that if you are trying to make money, I know a lot of people watched the video that I did a couple days ago. First off, thank you for watching that. Thank you for sending me questions if you have any questions. Like I said in that video and in many other videos, if you have any questions, you can always send me messages over on facebook.com/homemade-entrepreneur, and I'll answer your questions there. But here's something else I wanted to show you, okay? Give you some advice. There is a way to make money for free. There's a lot of ways to make money for free. And in the second link down in the description box below, I'm going to link to a video where I show you how to make money online creating free images. It's absolutely free. I walk you through this step by step. This is an easy way to make over $100 per day using the internet. So if you have any questions on this video, you can come back here, you can ask me questions here, or just go to that video. Again, second link down in the description box below. Go and watch that video, ask questions on that video, and I'll answer you there as well. So again, thanks for watching the second stimulus check update and stimulus package update for July 30th. Again, we're only 8 days away from the deadline, the August 7th deadline. So hopefully it is coming up, but hopefully we get some type of deal done. Because I know you are wondering, when's my stimulus check coming? Is there any additional unemployment? What about essential workers? What about Social Security and SSI, SSDI? I'm going to answer all your questions. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like always, smash that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.